Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's BDF44. So, I want to talk about something that's been weighing not heavy on my heart, but just something that's kind of been lingering around about the attention that Black Lives Matter is getting versus the lack of attention that maybe some other topics are getting. And you guys know, if you've been following me over the last couple of weeks, I like to speak on stuff that doesn't pertain to myself or doesn't benefit myself because I think that that's more honorable for me to do while others are, fighting for me. That's my logic. It's not that I'm not passionate about our issues. It's just that it's important that I bring some light to some issues that maybe isn't getting as much attention, um, as well as speak up on things that are. But I just think that that's kind of what the role that I want to take in this situation. So it always comes back around to what are others doing and what are you willing to do yourself. Now I'm doing this, I'm taking it upon myself to speak on issues that don't pertain to me or issues that don't directly benefit me, but there's a lot I can speak on that I'm just not knowledgeable enough to do so yet. So I just have to ask y'all forgiveness if there's names that I've missed and circumstances that need addressing and things of that nature. But at the same time, something needs to be said about what's next to say. African Americans have been fighting for over 100 years to receive the type of traction that we're receiving right now with our movement. We have been banging on doors since the 20s, asking people to help us, hear us out, understand that we're dealing with circumstances that we are outside of our control. That um, we've been chinking at the armor, so to speak, of racism and white supremacy and all these different other factions, and we've been silenced in many different ways. We've been told to shut up. They've killed off some of the people who were spearheading the movement. They've dismantled all of our movement organizations and have painted them as terrorists when they didn't have terrorist roots to their intentions. Um, we've been lied on, we've been spied upon, we've been murdered, we've been raped, we've been told that we don't matter, we've been brainwashed, we've been belittled, we've been made fun of. Everything that you can have happen to a people has happened to the African Americans. So in 2020, yes, you're going to have a lot of attention on anything that black people do when it comes to protests and things of that nature. It's a big to do. The relationship in this country is between black and white. First and foremost, y'all gotta understand that the main characters in this play are blacks and whites. I didn't make it that way, it just is what it is. They have discarded everyone else. I hate to tell you, you're just on the back burner when it comes to certain things, and it's not going to get the same traction. And I'm not saying that it's fair or it's not. I just understand that is what we're dealing with here. So I've listened to people, and they've made a lot of sense. People from the Hispanic community particularly have said, yo, we're not getting the marches, we're not getting the traction. They're not talking about our issues. Do we not matter? Why isn't everybody standing up for us? And the answer to that is two things. One, everything that African Americans have, we have gathered on our own. Our assets, our supporters, we have went out on the field over the years and put ourselves out there to make sure that people understand what we're about and what it is we're trying to do. Even in the midst of people trying to pervert that message, trying to pervert what it is that is actually taking place. Every time we come together, it's always painted out as if we're against people that we're not, and we're never quite listened to in regards to the things coming from the horse's mouth. We tell you what we're doing this for, and you run away and you say that we're doing it for something completely opposite. It's like whatever comes out of our mouth literally does not matter. We're just simply telling you, hey, we're doing this because, and you're saying the because doesn't count. How I interpret it is the truth and you're lying. And that's what we've been told about every movement we've ever had, including this one. It is frustrating as an African American, regardless of the position I take in speaking on issues from other people's perspectives, or excuse me, from another person's issues that don't pertain to myself, or if I was somebody who only talked about black people stuff. It is still very frustrating for others to not know the history of what it is and why it is that you're getting the attention that you're getting. We are not getting the attention that we're getting because we're more important than you. We're getting the attention we're getting is because we've been going at it with these people for over 100 years. And we have broken down barriers and worked to get to this point. That's why people are taking off emblems and things of that nature that may be offensive to us. That's why the N-word is widely understood as something that is unacceptable across the board. That is why you're seeing all this people standing up for black people and doing all this for black people, and we have all these allies and we're getting all this attention. It's because we've worked for it for ages. We put ourselves on the line to be demonstrations, examples to the world of what the enemy is actually about in this country. The world is aware of us because we've been trying to communicate with them about this for as long as we could, through different individuals that have come about and have made it clear. We have worked our way through the system, through white supremacy, through all the obstacles, to have key people who have power now within our community, who can pull some strings and have some corporate leverage to say, hey, we're going to ask for this, and if you don't give it to us, we're going to take our leverage and go elsewhere. We've worked our way into that position from a place of disadvantage. The attention that we're getting and all this stuff is not because people just don't care about you. It's not about you. And I'm talking to the others. I'm not talking to blacks, and I'm not talking to whites. I'm talking to everybody else. This is not about you. It gets to a point where it's like, yo, all y'all see is right now. All you see is the result of years and years of people fighting. Talking about, it goes all the way back further than Rosa Parks. People wonder why black people getting all this attention, why people are going all out on a limb to try to please us, so to speak. It's because we've worked for that. We've earned it. We've earned it in many different ways. We have gone out there and we spoke up on our issues. We went out there and got ourselves killed. We went out there and got ourselves bitten by dogs and sprayed hoses of water and did the sit-ins and had people spit in our faces and throw food in our faces and drag us out of their establishments just simply because of the color of our skin. And in those moments, each and every one of those moments, we gained a new supporter, someone who saw that and said, we don't appreciate it, we're raising our kids better than that. And each and every time we lost a person, we gained some more strength within ourselves as a community to say, next time something like this happens, we're going to raise even more hell. We're going to buy up everything we can to become as powerful as we possibly can, so that we can put ourselves in a position to where people will change their minds about who it is that we are and how they're going to treat us. We earned it. Stop. And I say this with all due respect to everybody who's hearing me. Stop comparing circumstances that are not possible. I can't, and I say I as a black person, can't make other people care about your stuff. I can tell you that I care, I can tell them that I care, and I will bring attention to things to the best of my ability. But you guys gotta put the freaking work in. Don't sit up here and say you want the result of all this love that black people are getting if you're not going out there doing all it took over the years to make it happen. You want justice for your people? Speak out. Don't wait for everybody else to just wake up and care. They don't do that. Follow the history of these movements. If you want to see how it works, study the Black Panthers, study the people who came before them, study the Civil Rights Movement, study all of the laws that were made in response to the people standing up and trying to do what it is that they needed to do to be heard and understood. Those are the things you want to know so that you can get this attention that you are asking for. Don't shun the individuals who've been working for 100 years to get it, and now they have it and you don't give a shit because it's not coming your way. You didn't freaking earn it. You didn't put yourselves out there like that as a group, as a whole. Y'all need to be flooding the damn streets every time somebody kills somebody of your people. Then they'll hear you over time. Bring out your leaders, speak out, let them get shot in the head a couple times. Then you'll start getting the attention that Black Lives Matter is getting, because Black Lives Matter did not start with Black Lives Matter. It started with the Civil Rights Movement years and years and years before this. You're just seeing the result of raised awareness over time. Raised awareness over time is what you're seeing a result of here. And you're disrespecting everybody who's ever stood up for it, both white, black, and in between. When you sit up here and say, why are they getting this? You're not paying attention to us. When are people going to stand up? When are you going to stand up? Stop waiting for us to care about you. Start caring about you. You show us you care about you, and then other people start caring about you. And I'm sorry, if you're one of those individuals or a group of individuals who are on the front lines doing your part, you're doing your part. But you need more. If you want to be up here with us, straight up, if you want the attention that Black Lives Matter is getting and the African Americans are getting, you got to earn that shit. This is not the time to sit up here and say, we got a situation too, where's us? That black dude over there, he don't deserve that no more than us. It's not about deserve. It's about raised awareness over time. Grassroots work was put in so that we can have this many people paying attention to us. It's just like trying to get famous. You ain't getting famous overnight most times. In most occasions, you're not going to get famous overnight. You know how many people we lost that nobody gave a shit about? How many cases went by that nobody get any traction over the years? Nobody cared, nobody paid attention to? It's been hundreds and thousands of cases of various injustices that don't even get acknowledged. We have to fight for this. We had to fight so that people will start to pay attention to the names of the individuals who murdered. We had to fight so that we can have a right to put ourselves in a position to even fight for our rights, to put ourselves in a position to fight for our rights, to put ourselves in a position. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? We did not wake up one morning and the whole world just wants to kiss our feet. We didn't wake up one morning and decide the world decided they wanted to take on our the images that make fun of us off of merchandise. They've had this shit on the merchandise for as long as they've had it. These are staples. They've been making fun of us for longer than most of us have been alive, if not all of us. Can you compare to that? Have y'all been treated that way? I'm just saying, it gets hurtful when you hear people that you care about that ain't you tell you F you because we're not getting the love that you're getting when they ain't did the shit that we did to get the love that we got. You know how many times I've seen situations happen to people and ain't nothing said from them? I find myself speaking more than they do. That's not right. I can't love you more than you love yourself. I can't bring awareness to your issues more than you bring awareness to yourself. And you can't expect every black person to feel the way that I do. Some of them just ain't gonna give a shit. I'm sorry. Not all of us are great people. We're just not. But for those of us who are, we deserve to be respected. And we don't deserve to be lumped in there with that situation. No different than any other people deserve to be lumped in with any other people. Which is something we all have to challenge ourselves not to do. But when it comes to this fighting for freedom thing, this whole civil rights type of revolution that is taking place right now, this is not the time for others to sit back with their arms folded on some hatred, jealousy shit. We didn't get where we are doing that. We fought. We weren't waiting for nobody else. Hey, over there, get over here, fight for me. Nah, y'all better than that. You better be better than that. And that's the realest shit I got for you. I'm sick of seeing these posts. I'm sick of them. Honestly. We got enemies from all different sides. People ain't respecting us from all different sides. All we've done is ask for respect, and what we've gotten in response to it is more disrespect. Disrespect that I know I don't deserve. And another thing is the divisive individuals within these different groups, people who will bring up a singular point or a singular injustice that maybe a black person, an awful African American person may have caused someone of their community, and then say, see, that's why they don't deserve nothing. Now that's evil. That's not a good thing. That is not a good thing. It's not good when anybody does it. Not us and not y'all. It's not a good thing when anybody does that. Because as I said, we got good and bad in our race. Not every black person's a good person. Not every white person's a good person. Not every Spanish person's a good person, etc., etc. But that does not mean that an entire people deserve to be treated poorly, or that the poor treatment deserves to be excused because of those specific individuals, or those isolated incidents, or even those groups of terrible incidents that were done by terrible people. When we say Black Lives Matter, we mean just about all of them, except for the bad guys. The bad guys tossed in there with everybody else is evil and horrible. We don't, you know what I mean? We don't stand for the wrong things, is what I'm trying to say. Despite what the enemy will tell you about the black man, we really don't want to do half the shit that they say we want to do. It's not in us to be torturous towards others. Not naturally. We're inclusive. We let you live, just like we would hope you would let us live. That's the truth about us. All that other shit, it's propaganda, it's lies. People telling you that we're more selfish than we actually are. We're not. We're really not that self-centered. We don't think we're the center of the universe. That's not who we are. The attention we're getting is because we have a long history of stuff that has happened that has ultimately led to a fed up type of energy that we have. And we've been fortunate enough to have brave souls from all over the world and all within this country, different colors and shades, who have said is enough, and have put their lives on the line so that we can have the traction and the voice that we have. It's not for others to shit on. Build. You're focused on the wrong stuff. You're worried about the black people. You're worried about this. You're worried about that. Worried about what you got to worry about. You got plenty of things to stand up for. Gain the traction. Speak up. Stop letting the fear tactics that they use on you in regards to many different things keep you silent and keep you accepting the bull. Anything you want against them, you have to fight for. Any fighting us ain't gonna get the shit done. Period. My name is BDF44, and I'm out.